All right, welcome back to the House Judiciary Committee. A little bit earlier than 11:30. I just wanted to give everybody an update from Eric as far as where we are. From what I understand, we can't just immediately turn around a new version 8.1. Over to you, Eric, to explain.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Eric Fitzpatrick with the Office of Legislative Counsel. As the chair was just saying, we can't immediately produce an 8.1 right now because it is the version 7.1 is currently being edited and proofed by our editorial staff. So they are in the document making changes as we speak. So I can't make a new version of that document without interrupting and interfering with the process that they're in the middle of. As I mentioned yesterday, they're doing the standard editorial edits, whether that be typos or punctuation or sometimes renumbering, that sort of thing, but purely technical, non-substantive things that they're doing. But I can't create a new document right now. So, but nevertheless, if you prefer to move ahead with this, you certainly still could. I'm understanding from what the chair was telling me that the committee would like to delete, see if I get the section 37. Is that the one, yes. The Sentencing Reconsideration Working Group?
Yes.
All right. So you can certainly just vote and say, well, we're voting on version 8.1. And 8.1 will be the edited version with section 37 struck and the remaining sections renumbered appropriately. And sometimes that's done. That's not like this would be anywhere near the first time that happens. That's fairly common, especially at the end of the session. That happens all the time. So you certainly can do that, but just wanted to let you know why it was you wouldn't have an 8.1 in front of you quite yet.
Okay. So are people good with that? To do it in that way? Yeah. We're all right? Okay. So in that case, I will take a motion to concur with further amendment draft. Will be draft number 8.1,
right,
which will be striking section 37 and renumbering the rest of the sections.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion on this long bill? It's got fantastic stuff in there.
It does.
It really does.
It's a lovely grab bag.
It is. Oh, it's a miscellaneous.
Maybe I'll look at it again.
It's not a grab bag. It's grab bag's the wrong word.
It's maybe a technical term. I don't know.
The drafting quality really leaps out at the reader, I think, also.
Yeah. It's beautifully drafted.
Exquisitely written.
So I think seeing no more discussion, could the clerk call the roll?
Arsenal,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Widow,
Yes.
both saying yes. Harvey,
Yes.
Holly,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Rachelson,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Gallant,
Yes.
11-0.
So Barbara's going to take the lead on this, but as we usually do, hopefully now we'll get Zach to speak to at least some section.
Yes.
And
Not section 37.
It's not going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
So Barbara is going to take the lead and find out who wants to do what sections.
And we'll take requests.
Yeah, I'll leave it to Barbara, but your name will be on there to get so you have to stick around until the edited version 8.1
That's fine.
comes along, so they
No problem.
can send it to
And
Nigel and
the vote is 11-0.
And Ken's going to send the S87 and Angela is sending S44. So we're good.
A good day for House Judiciary.
So the last thing is, again, next week I have S12 set up. Maybe I should kind of leave the Thursday open depending on what happens on Wednesday with S12 and sealing. And the intent will be to vote that out by the end of next week. I did talk to David Durfee on S45, the right to farm bill, and they're continuing to work on it. And hopefully by the end of next week, they will have their version of what they're going to propose, since we would have to take that and adopt that. But I think it's also going to make a stop in environment. So we're probably not going to be dealing with S45 next week. But if we get S12 out,
Maybe.
and things we're getting back over from the Senate, we're gonna get the DUI thing is being, one of the DUIs is being changed, or maybe both of them.
Yeah.
Are gonna have some changes, so anyway, stay tuned and, we're adjourned until
Okay.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Quick question though. Can I ask a
Yes,
quick
go ahead, Eric.
So once I get the approved version back of 109, it sounds like Barbara's going to take the lead on the reporting. So I will send that version electronically to Nate, and I can CC Barbara and you, Martin. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and Nate will post it. So,
Right.
yeah.
And then I can send out a summary that I often will do to again to you guys, and then you can divvy up the sections however you want.
And I'm gonna talk to Ways and Means. I understand they have you scheduled blocked in for Thursday, and I'm gonna try to convince them that they should do that on Wednesday, just to keep this thing moving along.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
You too.
So I don't know if we have to be, I could ask you this probably offline, but I was just curious if there's any follow-up or what happened from yesterday's joint hearing, or what we all should be considering or.
So I think a letter and it can just be from me, given what we saw, or yeah, I can propose a letter that's like me on behalf of the committee to the VSBA urging them.
Oh, no, sorry, the joint hearing yesterday on, fair
Well,
and
that's the
impartial
education, that was,
opinions.
yes. So nothing,
That
I
was
mean, I
like
thought there might be
informational
something,
purposes?
well, I thought, it was information and oversight. We heard, from Migrant Justice and ACLU had one view on this issue. I found Julio's, he didn't call it rebuttal, I think it was rebuttal. But I found that pretty convincing, and then Ben later offline confirmed that that's in fact his interpretation of the law as well. So essentially, they were arguing that subsection F conflicted with subsection A, and we should go with subsection A. And Julio explained why that wasn't the case, and if he needed Ben to come in, he could explain again that they're not in conflict. And so I don't see anything more to be done. I know that Senate Judiciary has taken up S-148, which did come up a couple of times yesterday in the joint hearing. And I think that
Which 148?
it's probably contrary to federal law, so I doubt that it's going to move out of Senate Judiciary. Yeah, I mean, it really says we're not going to cooperate on anything. The heck with those US, and I understand the urge to want to do that, but federal laws, it has supremacy right now, and it will always, I suppose. So I don't see that that's probably going to move. So I don't think there's much.
So if that did move, would it stop the collaboration, some of the collaborations we heard about yesterday where
Yeah, I think
that
that's
would be to a situation first
Yeah,
type thing?
I think that's fair. I would be surprised if it moves.
Right. Yeah.
Frankly, I'd be surprised if it moves, if it does make it over to here, whether it will move here. So. Anyway.
Okay, thanks. I just wasn't sure.
And should we we do have a next step related to work group.
Oh, yeah, can you give us, and then we'll go after you just kind of give us the update on work group? That would be helpful. Our
Well, we
team
can
of work
all,
group people.
so basically, I sent the documents around to everybody, the corrections department. I think at first was fixated on work crew the way it existed. And we said, look, here's what we need. Here's what people are asking for. And they shared with us that Rutland has had a program, I don't know for how long, but it's run out of probation and parole. And they have only had 12 participants, but they could do that in every county, like right away, without it costing anything. And it is not only people doing community service type volunteer work, but it's also if people want to get into treatment or pursue education, that could count. But they were saying that it would be good to know ahead of time before they move forward. Would this meet with the approval of the state attorneys, the Defender General's office, and the judiciary? And we offered to. So I think the next step was to try to get another or a group meeting with people from those.
State's attorney,
the
defender
state
general.
attorney and Judge Zone and the two chairs.
Corrections probably. It's essentially pre-approved furlough. So that when you don't do your part, they can send you back to jail, just like good report for.
Right.
This
It's
is
just
another,
managing.
this is another Marble Valley.
No, it would be each county would have.
Each
their own.
county, but
It would be
the
out of
Probation
program.
parole.
It would be out of probation parole.
Okay.
So do you want to set up a meeting like for next Thursday sometime?
We
I
have
know
to,
There's nothing on.
we have to go through James. He's the head of this committee.
Okay.
But we can, I can email James and say that our chair would like it on Thursday.
Or, yeah,
But,
whatever Alice wants, she's the dean of the house. So.
right.
And they're set up for it, so it's not a costly thing.
And they kind of want to know, like, they don't get why it's not being used. And
Who's they?
the corrections folks.
Well, it's only 6 months old, and they think that probably it's a lack of knowledge of it.
Yeah.
But they worked with Ian, Sullivan.
But I mean, and how many of Ian's people have tried using it and so on? So I guess it's just something we gotta get everybody to try.
In the Rutland area, the, Tom Giffen, who's the president of the, Vermont Cemetery Association, did work crew for years pre-COVID. And he's really been pushing this hard, because one thing that's happened a number of times through the years, I mean, not everybody he gets is going to be, a stellar,
A Boy Scout.
a Boy Scout. But he's, a lot of people through the years, he's got them jobs here and
That's
there.
Tom's point.
Yeah,
I mean, you could hook people up
And-
with employers versus just
Right.
pushing a lawnmower with somebody watching you. in
and
the
and
rest area.
they come with a recommendation from
Right.
Tom Giffen.
It sounds like a little bit like what we were hearing about in the conversation around community service and, how,
Right.
like, just trying to create a more meaningful.
That was a different program, thing.
It's totally a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
program.
They could
but
plug
it's
into
just-
it.
That was up in Derby, right? Or Orleans?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't talking about a specific program, but the conversation we have about reducing the community service hours,
they
the
plug into this
DUIs
too.
too, so, but,
Oh, right.
yeah, it's just great to hear that there is a program that maybe
Right.
isn't designed as a pilot program, but
They,
Certainly could function.
they're not buying lawnmower equipment again.
No.
And we said, and actually Trevor was happy because it doesn't cost anything. And nobody wants the state buying expensive equipment again.
Yeah.
And we talked about there's tons of community service people can
I
do,
think it'd
like
be a lot more meaningful for the.
cleanup, right?
yeah.
Graffiti cleanup, I know, like in.
So my thing on that, and Alicia did it with the bridges, but the amount of disrepair with our bridges, which Vermont is really well known for. I mean, these people might find a calling for redoing the bridges, carpentry, all this stuff. I just think it's a phenomenal opportunity for somebody to have a second chance of really, or maybe, yeah, probably second chance.
Should be a first chance.
Exactly, but you know what I mean? I have
Yeah,
been a big proponent of this for years.
and it's exciting that corrections is like, no, we could do it in every county right away.
They were hesitant to start it in Chittenden County just because it's a cornucopia of everything you could possibly run into, and so many services and so many troubled people, and it would be kind of hard. They wanted to cut their teeth on
In Rutland,
smaller areas like Rutland and, maybe Franklin County or something.
See, my thought on something like that, go to the smallest county with the least amount of need, and then you could fix the county.
True. I mean, look at the landscaping that's out there. I mean, how many people really mow their lawns anymore?
Yeah, but Rutland wouldn't be the
It's all
smallest
higher.
county.
I'm on my own.
You have a rotary push.
I have a.
But this person would probably be working for a contractor that came to your house.
So,
I need to
Good
go,
progress.
just one other item for folks. So,
I'll write you.
I think actually right after we voted, Kim McManus said, did you change this one part? And earlier this morning, and I did not see it because I haven't looked at my emails. There was something from DCF adding language to this one provision regarding looking at money. That can be put in the Senate, or I can talk to appropriations. You know, we can suggest somebody in appropriations do an amendment on those couple things if we all agree. So it's amazing how, you know, I kind of made it clear we were voting it out today, and 2 emails came in this morning and saying, wait, can you? But we have another way. We have a path.
So what's the appropriation?
It has to go appropriations for one of the, so I mean, I
thought one of the requests was. for-
no, it's not, yeah, it's not appropriations related, but I know that they've done like a technical small changes in appropriation, or it can just go in the Senate. I mean, I'm expecting the Senate to do something with it, including the stuff that we just took out. I'm hoping that can be fixed for the Senate, the section 37.
So where are you landing with this, with your thought?
My thought is to talk to appropriations and the rest of the committee, once we take a look at the language, to see if we think we should ask the appropriations to do it, or just leave for the Senate.
But we're
We
not
could
doing
offer
that
a
today.
committee amendment too.
No, it's like,
Alright.
We could offer it as a committee.
I mean, it
amendment.
won't get, right, we could offer as a committee amendment
Oh.
as well. So appropriations won't be taken, yeah. So there's different
Get that
options. So
support.
I expect, who knows, we'll see more now that people.
I think we're gonna have a lot of this.
Well, you know, I'm saying that this is not unusual for end of session stuff, just so.
I think we're gonna be bombarded.
I mean, none of these, you know, these things
Yeah,
are,
I get it.
I get it, critical either, but.